Hello there and welcome back to some more Gran Turismo 5. Today we're continuing on with our Let's Play. This is episode 60. In today's episode, it's time to finally end this. It's the AMG Driving Academy Expert. Technically, the last special event in the game. Or is it? No, it isn't. But at least for now, it is the AMG Driving Academy Expert. Do you remember what the AMG Driving Academy is? If you don't, this is where you essentially just drive around the Nürburgring twice. The Nürburgring is one of my least favourite tracks in the world. I can't stand it. And essentially you have to drive this by section. So sections 1, 2, 3, 4, and then once you've done that you have to drive a full lap of the track. It's ridiculous. And well, considering this is the expert field, well, we started off with the 300 SL. And then we did the 300 SL in the wet, and we've done the SLS as well. So how do we end all this? By combining the wet and the SLS. Incredible, no one saw this coming. Of course, much like with the 300 SL, the one thing Polyphony has decided to do in their infinite wisdom is jam comfort soft tyres onto the car, not the wet tyres which are actually in the game and would be more suitable for this. Nope, they've decided not to do that. So, as a result, here we are. We got to drive a wily supercar around one of my least favourite tracks in the game. Fortunately, unlike with a lot of activities in this game, you don't get disqualified for going off track, as you may have seen previously. And so, as a result, this is rendered a little bit more fun. Section 1 is actually quite easy for me. I have a lot of experience with this particular sector thanks to a certain driving challenge on Gran Turismo 6. Indeed, I think driving challenges and Gran Turismo have used this particular section of the Nürburgring quite a lot. And so I almost know what I'm doing around here. As you can see, I dipped a wheel in the sand trap, but nevertheless I will end up crossing the line for a just about gold. Might have been my first attempt at this, I don't quite remember, but either way, that's the way it has been done. Yay. 356,000 credits for getting gold on this, and yes, that is every single sector. So sectors 1, 2, 3 and 4 you'll get 356,000 credits and the full course run. So there's an awful lot of money to be made here. Just trying to do the mental calculation in my head, about 1.75 million, maybe closer to 1.8. So at least there's some good money in this, even if it is a bit of a trollop. Anyways, sector number 2 has a big cut at Anderforst. In case you can't tell, I mean, it's the expert difficulty. I'm making it sound like I've seen the Nürburgring challenge for the first time, but in truth, we've done this 4 times in this game after this. In fairness, it has been a while since I've commentated over the Nürburgring, so, you know, just bringing you up to speed, or if you decided to, for whatever reason, skip to this specific episode, yeah, there's your overview of the AMG Driving Challenge. Woo. Yeah, I turned traction control off, I think. That's what it says in the notes. No, it doesn't look like it did. Okay, never mind. There is a brief amount of traction control in this car. I can't remember if I even bothered changing it or if I didn't remember. Usually I change traction control off for this because I find it easier, but apparently not this time round. So there you go. Yeah. Not a lot to say really about this particular section. This is the sector just before I start getting lost. It's more towards the end of the lap I get lost. I will say, in fairness, I hate the Nürburgring, but I prefer it nowadays to what I did before, purely because I at least know the track a little bit more now. I know some people who are absolute madmen to it. Shout out to Mueller, who I think he lapped every single Forza 7 car around here, which, yeah, I certainly wouldn't be doing. I've tried doing that before in the past, but yeah, not now. Because just why would you want to drive this track for any longer than you do have to? The lap already lasts for far too long. But I know there's many Nürburgring elitists out there who are probably willing to cave my head in right about now, and I'm willing to cave my head in too, because Fuck me, this is really hard to commentate over. The special events in this game, they did nothing to change any of them. At least in Gran Turismo 7. Gran Turismo 6, which is a better game. Gran Turismo 6, they at least gave you some pacing on these driving special events, so don't get me wrong, they were bastards to pass, but at least you only had to do them like, it only took like 2 minutes overall, while these just take forever. And at least they're not the rally one, which that really does take forever. Anyways, another 356,000 credits in the bag. Moving on to sector number 3. Also, for some reason, this SLS doesn't have a wing, unlike its counterpart in the dry. I don't know why they decided to stick a wing on the dry version of this car. I guess they just, I don't know, wanted to make it easier for people or something. I'm not too sure. For all I remember, actually, I might have struggled with this section of track. I think I remember that vaguely, although I will say it has now been, wow, look at that, almost 10 months since I drove this. I drove this particular challenge on the 28th of November 2021, and it's the 14th of September 2022 as I speak, so yeah, it's been a while. Something's making an awful racket outside. It's a trailer with a truck behind it. Strange. Anyways, yeah, sector 3, arguably the hardest. You can extend the final corner though, which is nice. Maybe I didn't struggle with this section because I just went off, and I don't think I would have. I'm assuming this wouldn't have been my best run out of all these. I don't know. Oh wow, look at that carousel. God, I was driving absolutely atrociously. Shame on you. 24-year-old me. I've actually grown in age since this. I know it's hard to tell. Yeah. Why is this SLS red as well? I'm very certain the image for this has a black SLS. Unless I'm making that up as well. Could be. Or it could just be an AMG logo. I don't remember. Did you know if you bought a special edition of this game, you get a model of this car? Yeah, I didn't quite believe that either, but I guess, even though like we all think Nissan GTR as soon as we see Gran Turismo 5, because of course we think Nissan GTR when we see Gran Turismo 5, they literally designed the bloody graphics for the thing. Yeah, turns out the SLS was sort of considered the cover car. In fact, it might have actually been, yeah, it was the cover car for the, yeah, I don't really associate the SLS with Gran Turismo. Maybe you do. Comment down below. Yeah, okay, I didn't struggle with this because I beat that by like 2.5 seconds and drove like dog shit, so yeah, maybe that wasn't too difficult after all. We're both learning at the same time what's going on in this. I just can't wait to be over and done with the special events, because it means no more pre-recorded stuff for me, so I don't have to sound vaguely interested about the AMG Driving Academy 4. Again, like I say, your man's dreaming of a Gran Turismo without all these fucking filler content. Alright, final section. This is my weakest section, but a massive cut is available at the finish, as I've said several times before when I've commentated this before. And you probably know what section I'm on about, and if you don't, well, you're in for a treat. You've also evidently never seen any of my previous works at the Nürburgring, because I'm almost certain anytime I've driven this course in Gran Turismo, I haven't taken the last corner properly. Maybe I did during the endurance. Maybe I'll pride myself during the 24 hours of Nürburgring, which I still haven't remotely started at the time this is being recorded. Yeah, maybe I'll pride myself on taking that corner correctly. Who knows? Who cares? None of you do. If you want to see this game played competently, there's a million other channels I can direct you to. The moving chicane probably being the one that I'd endorse the most. Shout out to the moving chicane in this very sleepy episode of the Gran Turismo 5 Let's Play. I promise you the next episode of this is much more interesting. If it's out, skip to it already. Actually no, stick me on 2x speed, skip to the end of this video so we get all the watch time, and then watch the next episode itself, because I promise you it's far more interesting than this. There's a car in it that I'm sure you'll all love and make fun of, and what do cool kids do these days? Make memes. You'll make memes about it. Maybe you won't. I don't know. I mean, some people manage to make memes out of some of the Gran Turismo 4 cars, so hey, can we double dip? Who knows? The SLS has got an active spoiler. You know that? Actually has a strange third brake light integration as well. They've actually really thought about that. Of course they have, they're Germans. Is this the most iconic safety car in Formula 1 history? Comment down below. I'd probably say yes. I remember the SLSs, and I didn't even watch Formula 1 at that time because I didn't care about drinking drinks and watching a man with floppy hair win all the championships and then pretend how he's the greatest of all time even though he only won 13 races with Ferrari. Anyways, yeah, woo. 227 166. We beat that by almost 2 seconds, so that's good. Sorry, I'm very tired as I commentate over this. I just want to get this done. This is basically, I feel like I could redo this and put more effort into the commentary, but I feel you need to feel how just draining the Gran Turismo 5 special events really are to just speak over and witness, because a lot of them are just the same, just done over and over again for no good reason. There's an 8:30 here. The full course run is pretty generous on time, which is nice, and also the full course run gives me an excuse to not commentate the next few minutes of this. I will join you for the prize giving ceremony. Wow, wasn't that brilliant or terrible? I don't know. Either way, it looks like I set a barnstormingly good time at the Nürburgring, if I do say so myself. I am 16 and a bit seconds ahead of what the target goal time is. I mean, just call me Sabine. No, don't do that. Anyways, yeah, that's done. Hooray. 356,000 credits. Woo, 3.7 or 5.7 million. I'm sorry, I can't read. Anyways, prize giving. Let's do that, because final special event. Yay! Do you get anything for completing all the special events? No, but you do get prize cards from this. So for bronze, you get the SLK 320 compressor. For silver, you get the Mercedes SL65 AMG, and for getting all golds, you get the SLR McLaren. Now, I will say none of these prize cars can particularly hold a candle to some of them that we've received previously in the AMG Driving Academy, looking at the CLK LM longingly, but they're still not bad cars within their own right. I mean, of course, you've got the SLR McLaren, which we'll discuss when that pops up on the screen, but we begin with the SLK 320, which is always been a car I quite like. I think it's a very attractive car from the front, a little bit strange from the back, but I mean, I like the original SLKs. They sort of lost their way after a while, but I think that's a, you know, truly elegant design. I definitely own one of those over a Porsche Boxster, because I don't think I'm a complete bellend. Anyways, here's an SL65, essentially an SLR McLaren, but better because it's got a 6-litre V12. Perfect. 585 horsepower. Mental, basically. No other word to describe it. And then, of course, we got the world famous SLR McLaren, 597 horsepower. Not the premium edition, which I think is actually in the game, which is strange. They just give you the standard one. But nevertheless, it is still a cool car, although, okay, PP points, there's about 30 difference between that and the SL65. Interesting. Anyways, that is it for this episode. Thank you all very much for watching. Next time, I promise you we'll get something far more interesting. It'll be time to head to the Extreme Series for the Schwarzwald Liga B. So join us for that. Until then, farewell.